Hi everybody, this is Mr. Liu and this is page 88. Put on your thinking cap. Problem solving. Carlos has been collecting cards since he was 5 years old. He has not thrown away any of his cards. He is now 7 years old. He collected 201 cards last year. He collects 125 cards this year. He has a total of 589 cards now. A. How many cards did he have in total at the end of last year? B. How many cards did he collect when he was 5 years old? Okay, so this is a very difficult problem because we're trying to do this all together. So let's not do this together. Let's do it one at a time. One sentence at a time. All right, so Carlos has been collecting cards since he was 5 years old. So I'm going to draw a simple bar model. And I'm going to pretend that this is when he was 5. So here I'm going to put 5y for 5 years old. Okay? So he's now 7 years old. So that means he's collected from 5 years old, he's collected 6 years old, and he's collected 7 years old. All right. So here I need another bar model for 6. And I'm just going to make it bigger. And again, we can always change this. So this is my 6 years old. And let's make another bar model for 7 years old. Okay. So here I'm going to put 6y. And here I'm going to put 7y for 7 years old. Okay, let's slide this over just a little bit. And slide this over just a little bit as well. Okay, so he's now 7 years old. 7 years old. He collected 201 cards last year. So last year over here, he collected 201 cards. Okay. He collects 125 cards this year. So this year, he collects 125 cards. Now, here I have to fix my bar model because 125 is smaller than 201. So I'm going to take this bar model right now and I'm going to fix this just a little bit. Okay? He has a total of 589 cards now. So I know that the whole thing, this whole thing together, and let's use black. This whole thing together is 598. 89, I'm sorry, 589 cards. So here we go. How many cards did he have in total at the end of last year? So at the end of last year, which would be on year 6, he had how many? And this is what we're going to try to find out first. Well, all we have to do then is to figure out, well, he collected 125 cards last year and now he has 589. So at the end of last year, all we have to do is take that away. We take last year's away. We take 7 years old away, and we can find out how many cards he has in total at age 6. So let's do that right now. 589 minus 125 Okay, so 9 minus 5 is 4. 8 minus 2, 8, 7, 6. And 5 minus 1 is 4. So, at the end of last year, in total, he had 464. I'm going to put that answer right here. 464 cards. So, at the end of last year, here, he had 400. Oops, let's make that a little neater. So again, after year 6, at the end of last year, he had 464 cards. Alright, so B says, how many cards did he collect when he was 5 years old? So again, at 6 years old, he had 464 cards. He collected 201 cards at age 6, so all we have to do, take away age 6, and we can figure out how much he had in age 5. So all we're going to do is take away age 6. So we're going to take our 464 and take away our 201, and we should find that out. So let's do that right now. And we'll do it over here. So 464 subtracted, take away 201. Okay. Here we go. 4 minus 1, well, it's 3. 6 minus nothing is 6. And 4 minus 2, 4, 3, 2 is 2. So here we go. How many cards did he collect when he was 5 years old? And 5 years old, he had 263 cards. And let's write that over here. 263 cards. So again, I like to put that right back into my bar model as well. So at 5 years old, he had 263 cards. Okay, let's do number 2. Jason, Peter, and Ken hold a garage sale for charity. Jason raised $350. All right, so the first thing I want to do, let's make a bar model for Jason. And let's put our 350 in there. And let's also put a J for Jason. Okay, my next sentence. Peter raises $20 more than Jason. So Peter has more than Jason by $20. So my next bar model will be for Peter. And of course, his will be bigger. And this is Peter. Now, he doesn't raise $20. He raises $20 more. And if he does that, that means he raised what Jason raised and more by $20, which means that that more is my empty space right over here. Oops, let's not do let's make it a circle. So that more is that $20, that empty space right over here. And here I'll put the $20. Okay. Now, next sentence says, Ken raises the same amount as the total amount raised by Jason and Peter. Alright, so Ken raises the total amount raised by Jason and Peter. So we have to combine Jason and Peter to get Ken. Now, before we do that, so when we combine it together, I'm going to draw a nice little caret sign. And here, this, and I'll put another little bar model. This, oops. So when I combine these two together, this is what Ken raised. So here is Ken's bar model. And I'll put a K for Ken. But again, I have to combine both Jason and Peter to get Ken. Alright, so in order for me to do that, I need to figure out how much Peter raised first. Well, to figure out how much Peter raised, I have these two bar models over here, and I know that if I combine these two bar models, I'll get what Peter has. So first of all, I have to combine these two, which means I need to add. So I'm going to add that really quickly. 350 plus 20. Let's make that 20. Oops. Let's make that 20 nicer. Okay, plus 20. Alright, and that equals, well, 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 2, well, 5, 6, 7. And 3 straight down. So I know that Peter raised $370. Alright, so let's put that in there. Okay, so now I can figure out how much Ken raised. So Ken raised 350 and 370 put together, and that's how much Ken raised. Alright, so I'm going to write that right over here. So I need to add 350 plus my 370 okay, now let's add that together. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 7, 7 plus 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And carry the 1. 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 1 more is 7. Alright, so right now I know Ken raised $720. So again, I like to put that in my bar model. Okay, but again, that's not my question. The question says, how much money do the 3 boys raise in all? So, if you look at our bar model, now I know how much the 3 boys raised. So what I like to do right now, I'm going to move Ken down here. So let's move him over there. Let's put our label over here next to it, and let's put our 720 right in there. Because now I want to know how much money all 3 boys raised. So that means I want the whole thing from all 3 boys. So that means I have to add 350, 370, and 720 all together. Now let's take a little shortcut. I've already added these two together. And here, 350 and 370 is added over here. I get 720. So all I have to do is add another 720 to this to get my final answer. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So all I have to do, because I already added these two together, is add my 720 to get how much all 3 boys raised. So 0 plus 0 is, again, 0. 2 plus 2 is 4. And 7 plus 7, well, that's 14. 4. And the 1 goes down. So here, how much money do all 3 boys raise in all? We know it's this much right here, 1,440. And let's write that in a sentence. All 3 boys raise $1,440. Okay, and that's page 88.